Okay, thank you very much, Ibokun. Thank you to everyone who has taken their time out to join this edition of a 3-day data analysis and business analysis combo. I hope my voice is loud and clear. If you can hear me very well, just type yes uh, on the chat window, so I will just see and know that my voice is audible. Okay, thank you. If you can also see my screen, just type yes. Or a Y, just type a Y. So I know everything is set. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for joining once again. And I just want to, express my sincere appreciation to Ibukun, the convener of the Ladder Back Down, for giving us this opportunity to present this workshop once again. Thank you so much. You've really affected so many lives, and you've really helped people to grow their career, with it from this platform. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here and to tell or train people on emerging opportunities. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. And I also want to thank everyone that has made it to be here tonight. I know time is of value to everybody, but you've made it to listen to us tonight and for the next 3 days. I I sincerely appreciate you, and be rest assured that we will give you value for your time, you know, on this platform. It's a co-learning platform. I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have a wonderful brother that's also going to be joining us, in these 3 days. His name is Bankole, that is a senior business analyst. You will love listening to him. So he's going to be here also. So just sit back, relax. No, there is a lot to learn. If you have any question, please just put it in the chat window. So I'll make sure I pick it up and answer all your questions. Okay. So the session is going to run for the next 60 minutes. Then after which I will take a break and take a question and Q&A for another 15 minutes. Okay. So I will go over to this slide now, and I can't wait to get started. I will take it slowly. I know some of us are new to these emerging opportunities, data analytics, business analytics, business analysis, so to say, what is it? How can I get started? I know so many of you are itching to hear. So please be rest assured that you're on the right platform, and whatever we discuss today will take you far, far, in your career. Okay. So it's a 3-day data analysis and business analysis workshop. So this workshop will be is more of a sensitization workshop. It's an expository workshop on data analysis and business analysis. So, in the course of these 3 days, we're going to be telling you a lot what are these disciplines, how you can move into these disciplines, what are the things you need to know for you to become a data analyst or a business analyst, how long will it take you, what are the hurdles you need to cross before you you begin your career. And if you are switching career, you will also benefit from dates. And what is the period, what is the length? So a lot of people have asked me, if I attend this workshop, how long will it take me? So you get to learn a lot, on this platform, and this will be a defining moment in your career. You will be able to, after the end, at the end of these 3 days, you will know theoretically, at least 80% theoretically of what a data analyst or a business analyst means and what they do, and that will inform you if you're going ahead, to be a part of this team of professionals or not. Okay, so I will just get started so that we don't waste so much time. So the first 2 days, we'll be talking about data analysis. The data analysis, first 2 days. Then the last day, which is a Sunday, we're going to be talking about business analysis, the what's, the where, the why, how do I, get into this field and what does it take? Okay, so stay with me for the next 2 days on data analysis or data analytics, as we may call it. Okay, so let me begin with an introduction. No, data is key. So we can't talk about data analysis if we don't talk about data. Data is key. And according to Google Data Analytics, it is a collection of facts. Data is a collection of facts. So you type a text message, you play a music file, you send a music video over WhatsApp or over Instagram, over any media, over any of the available media. That is data. Your tweets, your likes, etc. That is data. So you make a transfer of funds from your account to another person's account. That is data. So there are different data touch points in the world, different data touch points. And these data, or what we call data, is actually classified into three categories. That is what we call the structured data. Another category is unstructured data. Then we have the semi-structured. So these are the terms you will be coming across when when we're talking about data analysis. You'll be hearing some things like structured data, unstructured. So after today, when people are speaking about data and they're talking about structured data, you will know what they're talking about. Okay. So what is structured data? Any data that is easier to understood. Do you understand? That is in a particular format, in rows and in columns. Any data in rows and in columns is what we call structured data. That means it's easier to read. Do you understand? So it comes in letters and numbers, and it's in rows and columns. So any data in rows and columns are structured data. Example is your Excel spreadsheets or your Google Sheets. So those are structured data. Okay, so you will do little manipulation to actually analyze this data. You don't need to do so much work because they are already structured and kept in that format for you. The second category is unstructured data. It doesn't have a predefined format. Do you understand? It comes in any form. So it can come in text, it can come in video, it can come in audio files, name it. So when you are tweeting, do you understand? On your tweets, you see text messages, you see videos, you see different types of data. How do you collect all those kind of data? So somebody is saying, how are you? Somebody is saying hello, somebody is sending a funny video, somebody is sending a music file. How do you bring all those data together? They are not structured, so you can't put them together the way we have this particular spreadsheet. So they call them unstructured data. Then there's this third category, that's a blend between the structured data and the unstructured data. So we call them semi-structured data. And these are examples of these are HTML codes and XML codes. For more advanced data analysts, they use semi-structured data. And they can also transform this semi-structured data to what we call a structured data. So it just takes somebody who call a data engineer to transform this. So wherever I see first name, I'll put it under wherever I see Maria, I put it under first name. Wherever I see last name, I put wherever I see robots, I put last name. Like that. So a data engineer can take this unstructured data or semi-structured data and put it into what we call a structured data. So we'll be talking about who a data engineer is later in the course of the slide. So these are the three broad categories of data: structured, unstructured, semi-structured. I'm taking it from the elementary state so that you actually understand where we are going to. If anybody is talking about data analysis, after the end of these 3 days, you will be able to make some inputs with what you're going to learn from this platform. Okay, moving on. Now, moving away from data. So we're now talking about data analysis. So what is data analysis? So there are 4 broad definitions I'm going to be giving to us, though there are so many definitions when it comes to data analysis, but broadly, and I'm going to be linking them to these 4 broad disciplines. So you must have been hearing the term of the term data analysis. So the ability to analyze, that's look at data and interpret it and even question the data is what we call data analysis. So if you look at this, the spreadsheets here, so whoever has the ability to look at this type of data and ability, he can question this data and decide to make sense of this data. For example, I have last name, first name, I have birthday here. Do you understand? Oh, somebody can say, oh, let me look at this data and look at maybe this data. Okay, look at the country and the date of purchase, amount of purchase. So these are the details of customers making purchases from different countries. I don't know what they are purchasing. So somebody could say, okay, I want the birthday of this particular set of customers so that I can send them a message on the can come here and analyze this data and say, okay, if we are in the month of November, only pick those that their birthday, that means the months, the months of their birth falls in the sorry, I mean in December, sorry, in December. Pick only the guys that the months of their birth falls in December. Do you understand? And you can easily come here, look at this data and say, oh, this data, the structure of this data, the date is coming, the day, the month, and the year. Some data will come if we use the American formats, the months, the day, and the year, but this one is using the British formats, the year, the month. So I can just slice this data to only take the months, those ones that falls in the months of December, and send them a happy birthday message. So if you have analyzed this data and you send, oh, in the month of December, we have 3 customers that their birthday fall in the month of December, you can easily send them a message. So what have you done? You have analyzed this data and you are a data analyst. Okay, so the ability to question, to interpret the data, question the data, and try to make decision out of it is what we call data analysis. So we look at trends, we identify patterns in the data. What is the data trying to tell us? Do you understand? So with the right skills, data analysis can allow you to gain and act on customer insights. You can predict the future. You can make so much decision from that particular data. That's what now leads us to what we call analytics. So if the outcome of the analysis of that data leads you to making decision, it tends to making decision, then that is what we call data analytics. I'm going to be explaining the difference between the two later. Then we now come to another term that we call data engineering. Who are these guys? What do? They simply prepare the data. They build systems that hold the data for data analysts to work on. One of the challenges with data analysis is the unavailability. How do I get data? Where do I start analyzing this data? So these guys are responsible for building systems, for collecting, storing this data at large scale. So look at, for example, if you design a Google form for survey, for the purpose of survey, and you collect data from different people. In the back end, that Google form is being translated. It will store the data of all those respondents and put it in a spreadsheet in a CSV file for you, such that you can now go to the Google form and download the CSV files. Some of you that have used Google Forms, you understand what I'm talking about. You see that process of collecting those information from different people, transforming it and storing it in the back end so that you can go and pick it up is the work of data engineers. So they design the systems, they build systems to collect this data and store them so that people can make use of them. It's also a very wonderful field in data analysis. You may want to go into. This is a fantastic field, and they earn very good money, data engineers. Okay, so moving on. Another term that is very common is data science. So what is data science? This is actually a very broad term, very, very broad term. So it is the process of building, cleaning, and structuring data sets to analyze and make meaning from it. Sometimes data analysts may not need to clean data. Sometimes they do. Do you understand? If you're in an environment whereby you access data from a database, the data is already structured, everything is cleaned. No, you don't need to do further cleansing. Do you understand? you may not need to do data cleansing, but the guys that are responsible for cleaning the data, you understand, structuring the data, these are called data scientists, and they do a lot more. They build what we call statistical analysis, predictive analysis. They do things like uh, prescriptive analytics, descriptive analytics. I'll still come to that later. They do a lot of programming when it comes to data so that you can make decision automatically. Do you understand? Let me give you a classic example. Uh, if you, for example, top up your mobile phone with a particular amount, immediately, some uh, telecommunications organization will send a pop-up message, automatically that would you like to buy, a data plan, or would you like to buy a voice bundle? That is data science. So immediately you top up, the system has recognized that you're about to perform a particular activity, and it will bring up some suggestions to you. Do you understand? So the whole engineering behind that is what we call data science, and it's an advanced field or advanced discipline of data analysis. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this just trying to explain what data science is all about. It's an umbrella that encompasses three disciplines: statistics, analytics, and machine learning. So a lot of machine learning algorithm falls under data science. So when you move from analyzing data to start building machine learning algorithm, what is machine learning algorithm? It's simply trying to use the data from the past to make uh, decisions in the future. That is machine learning. So you learn, the algorithm learns about what has happened in the past and then use the outcome to predict what may likely happen in the future. So when you're doing all that, you are a data scientist. Okay. Now, this slide is very, very interesting. Pay attention here. So this is where I try to differentiate between data analysis and data analytics, because the terms sometimes are used interchangeably sometimes. So but try to understand it today. What is the difference between data analysis and data analytics? Very simple. I will give you the difference. When you talk about data analysis, you are working on historical data. Data analysis focus on what has happened in the past. It answers the questions how and why. Why is it that the sales of ice cream drops during the winter season? Why? Do you understand? Why is it that the profits plummeted in the last quarter compared to this quarter? When you're doing that, you are asking the data questions. Once you're doing that, you are simply analyzing the data. That is data analysis. So it's looking at patterns or events that has happened in the past. And this is where some people call themselves business intelligence analysts, a BI analyst. It simply looks at the data, what has happened in the past, and try to make some intelligent outcomes from that data. That's why they call themselves business intelligence analysts. So the outcome of data analysis now goes into what we call data analytics. So what is data analytics? This is actually futuristic. Why data analysis looks at events that has happened in the past. Analytics predicts the future. It takes the outcome of data analysis and use it to provide decision in the future. So it is futuristic. So ideally, analytics cannot happen without analysis. You can't carry out data analytics without data analysis. So there are lots of people in the field of data analysis as compared to analytics. Analytics, you make predictions. That means you need to build some statistical algorithm to make predictions. But you can't do that without data analysis. I hope I am spot clear. Don't worry, that there is room for questions, so you can always ask question at the end of the session. Okay, moving on, please. Now, the next thing is, why data analytics or data analysis, why so much noise about this particular field? It's very, very simple. There are lots of reasons why you may want to consider this as an opportunity. Do you understand? For you, I'll just mention four. One, data is everywhere. Everywhere there is data, there are different data touch points everywhere. Everything around you is data. Your age is data. Your house address is data, is a number, it's data. Your body weight is data. Your name's combination of your name is data. The distance you walk from your house to your place of work is data. If I can collect that data over time, do you understand? How long do you walk from your house to your bus station? Do you understand? That is data. Everything around you is data. And according to Google, according to one of the statistics, they process more than 40,000 searches per second. That is like 3.5 billion searches per day and 1.2 trillion searches every year. YouTube alone has about 2 billion users, more than. So if YouTube were to be a country, it would be the most populated on earth. There is data everywhere. These are just few samples. Everywhere, that data touch points. Even your body is generating data unknown to you. If I get a thermometer and put it beneath your tongue or in some places in your body, I will be able to read your temperature. I'll be able to tell if something is wrong with you or not. I can put a smart wristwatch or a band or a wristband, and I can take certain vitals from your body. I can get your heartbeat, your pulse rates. I can get certain vital information about your health, and I can tell you over time that young man, young lady, with the way you are moving, something may go wrong with you. Why? Because of the data I've collected from you over time. Just using a simple tool. Many of us are aware of this particular tool, this particular software. They call it Pacer. If you go to the Play Store or the iOS store, there is this Pacer app. You just install it on your phone, and every time you are walking, every time you are jogging, it takes certain vital information from you: the distance you have covered, the number of steps you have taken, your body mass index. No, it takes data. So the human body alone generates data. If I can put an instrument to collect that data over time, I can tell you one or two things about your health, and that will almost be 90% accurate with data. So data is everywhere. Then secondly, the demand, because of the proliferation of data, there is a high demand for individuals with data skills. There's a high demand. I tell people there are jobs, but the question is, do you have the relevant skill sets to match up to pick up those jobs? There are jobs everywhere. There are jobs, especially in the data industry. There are jobs. You go to LinkedIn, go to Indeed, go to Total Jobs, go to any of these job websites, put data jobs there. There are hundreds of jobs there, but do you have the requisite skills to match it up? And of course, with the increase in the number, with the increase in demand for data, for people that possess the data skills, there's also an opportunity. Currently, there are more than 2.3 million job openings for data-related roles, according to the US Bureau of Statistics. They have indicated that 11.5 million data jobs opening will be created by 2026. That's about 3 years from now. It's a massive opportunity. You can pitch yourself into this. So these are facts that has been generated by the analysis of data. They are not just mere sayings. They are facts. So you can begin to pitch yourself for the next opportunity. Then lastly, why data analytics? The flexibility. I tell people data is numbers, is about numbers. Do you understand? The man Pythagoras, he stated so many years ago that the world is about numbers. Data is about numbers. Do you understand? I'll just give you some practical examples. Your age is a number. Your date of birth is a number, your house address is a number. Do you understand? The distance between your place of work and your home is a number. So your salary is a number. Do you understand? Data is about number. If you can read numbers, do you understand? You can interpret data. So it is easier to read, understand, and interpret, provided you have a passion for it. Some people, truth be said, some people they get bored with numbers. You understand? They get bored with numbers. But if you have passion for numbers, it's easier for you to move into this field. Moving on, please. I know some people have questions. Just stay with me, please. I'm going to be rounding up very soon so that I can take your questions. Now, whatever you do as a data analyst or a data analytics expert or a data scientist is classified into this category, these four broad categories. Do you understand? You may just be doing one. Do you understand? You may just be doing one. You may just be doing two of these. If you are doing all, you are a super, you're a super data analyst. You're a data scientist. If you are doing all of these four, but whatever you are doing as a data expert should fall in these four broad categories. Okay, the first one is descriptive analytics. That's the first type of data analysis, descriptive. What does it tell? What does it mean? Descriptive, it's looking at what has happened, trying to understand what has happened by looking at the data, what has happened in the past. I need to add that. Trying to look at what has happened in the past. Okay. That's why has revenue declined in the last quarter? Why has sales dropped, in the last 2 months? Why is it that the website traffic of a particular artist just suddenly spiked? Do you understand? You want to understand what is happening. Descriptive. This is where business intelligent analysts, this is where BI analysts, this is where they fall into, the BI guys. They are just extracting intelligence from the data by studying what has happened in the past. And that is what we call descriptive statistics. The next category is what we call diagnostics analytics. This asks questions like you want to know by looking at some trends and patterns in the data. You want to know what has happened. It's more investigative. You want to know what has happened. Okay, diagnostics, like you want to diagnose to know what has really happened. So these two categories looks at events in the past. Then we now move to the left-hand side. Okay, predictive analytics. This is where you start making decisions in the future. It's futuristic. You understand? So predictive analytics looks at the outcome of these two, the outcome of descriptive and diagnostics, and use it to make predictions. Do you understand? Who is that customer who is unlikely to renew his subscription because you have seen his trend in the last 3 or 6 months that he has not been doing any meaningful activity? So you may likely say, oh, this particular customer will soon leave us. What can we do? If a particular person has not been funding his bank accounts or been carrying out transactions on his bank accounts for a period of 2, 3, or 6 months, this customer is likely, that particular customer, you begin to engage him to see what products or offerings he may likely subscribe to. That is predictive analytics. Then a step higher is what we call prescriptive, when you actually offer a carrot or something to the customer. Do you understand? You must have been to some websites, and before you could say Jack, they've offered you some deals that's okay, buy one, get two free. You keep asking yourself, how did they know I like this dress? How did they know I love puppies? Do you understand? Each time you browse, that's what we call cookies. Cookies. Most of you must have seen this. They will ask you to subscribe for cookies or activate the cookies or accept it. What are cookies? They are temporary internet traffic. They collect certain information about your interests, those sites you visit, things you do when you come on the internet. So over time, in the back end, the system will build a profile around you and be able to tell what you like. So when next you come back to those to the internet, it quickly drops some ads for you according to your preferences. That is the work of predictive and prescriptive analytics. And they are carried out by data analytics experts, people that can write machine learning algorithm to predict what you may likely want using your past events. Okay. Then moving forward. Okay. Please pay attention to this. Um, if you can pay attention and understand this whole slide, there is nothing anybody will tell you about data analysis or data that you won't be able to understand. Do you understand? So all what I will be saying or I will be saying the next 2 or 3 days, you understand, is within this slide, this ecosystem. So this is like a cycle, the data ecosystem. In elementary school, we are taught the water cycle. I hope I can still remember. From is it evaporation to you guys know, please. You understand? So this is data. I've forgotten some of the elementary things I was taught. But this is a data ecosystem. So and it talks about where data, the origin, then down to the interpretation. This slide, please. Try to pay some attention here. Okay. So the first step is the generation of data. I told you we can't be talking about data analysis if there is no data. So the first thing is data is generated. So what are some examples? You make a phone call, send an SMS or tweet, you make a purchase, you move money from one account to another. These are data touch points. We call them data touch points where data is generated. You're checking your vitals, data is generated. Do you understand? So these are generated by computers or machines or even the human body. Do you understand that? So the human body generates data. So at this stage, the data is raw, unstructured, and not readable by humans. Do you understand? That data is raw. The traffic light that turns red and asks you to stop is a data touch point. Do you understand? Is a data touch point. If you don't stop, there is a cam that will take data, from your vehicle. Do you understand? And sends it to another system. So at that point in time, it's taking data, maybe photographs of vehicles moving, maybe vehicles that disobeys the traffic, that violates the traffic lights. It takes that data and it goes into the backend, into systems. That data is analyzed, and before you know what is happening, they have built a profile around you. They built a profile around you, and you may get some tickets. Do you understand? Why? Data has been taken. So data is generated, then collected. We now move to the second stage. The data generated is collected. So what does that mean? So it is the movement of data from systems or machines that generates them to a repository where they are further taken for processing, So examples include file servers, data lakes, data marts. No, these are platforms that hold data that has been generated for further processing. Let me give another example. The Google form I was talking about, when you share the link to a survey to different people, they start filling that survey. The system is collecting the responses from each of those people and is putting them in a repository. Do you understand? Where you can go and access it. It's putting them in the cloud. So the cloud also is a place where data is stored. Then we go into the next stage, which is the processing of data. So this is the building, cleaning, and structuring of these data sets to analyze and make meaning. So these data are taken, they are processed and they are stored, in different places so that analysts can start making use of them. So this process is performed by data scientists by making use of different ETL tools. ETL is extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. That's your Google form, your survey. I can plug a system into that platform. For example, Power BI or Tableau, I can plug it into that platform. It will take that data directly, and you will be able to see a dashboard, the number of people that actually fill those surveys, the number of males, the number of females, the age, bracket, and so on. I can design something beautiful, and you look, oh wow, so this is how my survey went. Okay, then next, the data is stored. After processing, the data should be stored in platforms where people can access it. This is done by data engineers. Do you understand? So cloud storage, such as AWS, Google Cloud Servers, Azure, Hadoop HDFS, spreadsheets, Google Sheets. All the data are stored in those platforms, and you can actually go and interrogate those data. Then, after storage is a management of the data. Data stored must be well managed. Do you understand? The confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data is key. You don't want anybody messing with your data. You can imagine you went to your bank to make some withdrawals and they tell you they can't find your accounting information. Maybe something went wrong with us. You will not be happy. You will almost bring the bank down. Why? Because the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of that data has not been maintained. Just take another example. You make some withdrawals using your ATM, using the cash machine or your ATM or the ATM machine, and the balance from the cash machine and the balance on your app is not the same thing. That's the consistency. The data is not consistent. The integrity of that data has been affected. Do you understand? So data must be consistent at all times. The integrity of data must be maintained. That means data cannot be tampered with. Nobody can just go into your bank account and change your middle name to something else. No, it should be kept without any unauthorized manipulation. Okay. Then the next thing is the analysis of data. So the process of gaining insights, we've talked about data analysis, the process of gaining insights into events that occurred, answering the questions how and why, using tools like SQL, Excel, Python, R is what we call analysis. Then after data has been analyzed, you need to present it in a form that will be visually appealing to your audience, in charts, in graphs, in tables, in pictures. You need to present data. Okay, that is what we call data visualization. The ability to present the outcome of your analysis, in appealing graphics, charts, pie charts, bar graphs. That's what we call data visualization. It is performed by data visualization experts or data analysts using tools like Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. Depending, there's so many tools out there you can use for data visualization. Then lastly, data visualized should be interpreted so that business decisions can be made. So if, for example, after visualizing the data, presenting the data, you discover that in a particular month, maybe your sales has dropped in a particular month, people want to, what happened in that particular month? Or was there a natural disaster? Was there anything that could have affected the sales for that month? People want to know. And as a result of that, they need to take a business decision to avoid future occurrence. So, and the cycle goes on like that. Generation, collection, processing, storage, management, analysis, visualization, and interpretation of data. So focus on this slide and try to understand this. Once you gain a good understanding of this, you can be rest assured that nothing anybody will discuss about data that you won't be able to make a contribution. You'll be confident to make a contribution in that regards. Okay. The next slide, I don't want to be tempted to go into the next slide. Actually, I want to stop here and take some questions. Okay. I'm going to stop here, take some questions because the next slide is also very, very interesting. Maybe I will continue with that tomorrow, depending on how time. Okay, so the next slide talks about the skills, no, the key disciplines of data analysis. So I'm going to take so I will open the floor for questions. So if you want to ask questions, let me check the chat. Okay, let me check the chat. Are there any questions in the chat? That you want? Okay, okay. I don't see any question in the chat. Okay, so let me. I hope I can unmute. Okay, can I unmute? Okay, so if you want to ask a question, please, the floor is open. You can speak. Let me see. Can I? Hope I can unmute. Okay, so you can unmute yourself and ask your questions, please. If you have any question, please, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. So the floor is open, please. Thank you. Okay, I hope I'm audible. Okay, so
Becca had said that she's unable to unmute herself, so apologies. I'll try and request that you unmute yourself, although everyone should be able to unmute themselves, because I have enabled that. Let me just try and
yes, I see that. Yes, I see that you've enabled that. So please, if you have any questions, now is the time to ask.
Mr. Banks said that the host should enable unmuting, but that has been enabled. So everyone, okay, let me just try that again. Okay, is it working now? I've stopped it and restarted that unmute themselves. Okay, I think someone has been able to unmute themselves. So if you've got a question, kindly give it another go.
Sure.
Still can't unmute. Okay, let me just try and request that you unmute yourself. Okay, let's just give it a go. Okay.
Yeah, hi. I'm able to do that now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, good evening. My name is Ifeoma Iwanugo. I sent a question in the chat box, but I don't think you've been able to see it. I just want to know thank you so much anyway, for the information you passed on this evening. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just want, just to pick one, what are the steps to take to become a data analyst? I know there are many colleges out there that offer one. If you can tell us the steps and maybe any recommendations of any, if you don't mind, please. Or do you need to have a college degree before that?
Okay, thank you. That's a wonderful
Thank you
question.
so much.
Thank you, Former. I get these questions a lot, so I have a slide for it. If you could be patient with me tomorrow, the sessions might have a slide for that. I don't just want to jump ahead of that. So please, if you could stay with me tomorrow, there is a slide dedicated to answer your question and any other questions around that. I hope that helps, Ifoma. Okay. Um, okay. Kenny is asking that this workshop is leading to, this workshop, is it leading to a cohort later on the learning? Short answer is yes. Yes. Short answer is yes. I will tell you all about that tomorrow, Kenny. At the end of tomorrow's session. Yes, please. Short answer is yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I couldn't answer you then because I couldn't unmute.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Your answer is quite good. Thank you so much. That's all.
Okay, Fama, thank you. Okay, Oladekon, thank you for that question. So, will you be able to help with real life scenarios of data mapping? Oh, data mapping is a one of the concepts we are we're applying data analysis. Tomorrow we're going to be taking a hands-on session on Tableau. Sorry, Power BI. I beg your pardon. We'll be taking a hands-on session with Power BI. So please stay with us, Olalekon, so you'll be able to learn one or two things, about data mapping. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. What's the next question? Okay, Esther is asking, as a business analyst who has just moved into a data warehouse project, what skills do you think I can focus on? Okay, if Mr. Banks is on the platform, I want him to take this question. If not, there is a session dedicated to business analysis, for business analysts, and that session is taking place on Sunday. So, Esther, please stay with us. I'm sure after the end of that session, all your questions will be answered. Okay, so it's a 3-day workshop. So we have tomorrow and Sunday to conclude that. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, before I continue with the questions on the platform, does anybody have question? You want to unmute yourself and ask a question, please.
Sorry, may I just ask if Mr. Banks may want to just give a brief response to that now? Are you able to unmute yourself, Mr. Banks?
Yes, I am. Yes, I can. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm unmuted now.
Okay, Banks, you're welcome. Thanks for having me on the platform.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a noisy background here, so I'm trying to stay somewhere quiet.
Okay, did you get a question from Esther?
Yeah, sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to read it out again. She said, as a business analyst who has just been moved into a data warehouse project, what skills do you think I should focus on?
Business analysts don't really do, we focus on outcomes, expected outcomes, because we work requirements. So in a role like this where you move from being a business analyst to data warehouse, your role is still business analyst focused. You're still focused on who the users are, what impacts or what outcomes or what assumptions you're going to make about the new systems or whatever systems it is that you're working with. You need to focus on that and then work within your requirements. I know there's a tendency to want to start learning how to code or do whatever or do a bit of data, but it's good to know how it works. But as a business, I don't think that is entirely your role, except you are operating as a dual, maybe business analyst and data analyst, which are two different skill sets on the long run. But it's just good to know what the expected outcomes are so that if you are explaining this requirement or this user needs to the experts who might be handling the data side of things, they know what to work with and what they're going to test when these things are put in place. So I don't know if that answers the question, but in my opinion, that's how I will do it. I would try not to, move outside my zone of working with people, understanding what the people need, and giving them that in terms of outcomes and business expectations.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Banks. Thank you for that. Esther, stay tuned. You will want to listen to Mr. Banks more on Sunday. So when we uh, when we introduce the business analysis section. Okay. Okay. Do you have another person with a question, please? You can unmute yourself and ask, please. I think I've exhausted all the questions, in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Oladekun is also asking that how much of data analysis should a BA know? Okay. I will answer this question. Maybe Mr. Banks can also make some inputs. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, because as a business analyst, your job most of the time is to translate business requirements into technical specifications. You understand? You are a link between the business and the technical people, or the engineers, or the coders. You are linked. So your job is about making sure the requirements of the business has been properly documented and has been properly actualized. Do you understand? So data analysis skills. Well, some job openings we ask, some job adverts we ask, okay, you may need a bit of data analysis, but on a scale of 1 to 10, if you know maybe between 2 and 3 is okay. So because most of the time they won't ask you to code as a data analyst. Sorry, if you're a BA, you won't be asked to come and code. Do you understand? So because there are two different disciplines. Data analysis is more technical. Do you understand? You have to use tools, softwares to analyze data, to bring out insight from the data. Why BA, it's something different. So you won't be required to have that much of data analysis skills. But if you have it, is a plus, is an added advantage, but it's not mandatory. So I don't know if Banks has any input here. Esther, you're raising your hand. Could you please go ahead, Esther?
Yes, thank you, Victor. Thank you, Banks. So actually, I'm just a bit worried about the project because the project, we don't have a data analyst in place on that project, and that's why I'm a bit worried about me getting to the point where I might need to work with a bit of data, data mapping, data flows, and all those things. That's why I'm actually asking those questions. That what skills do I need to, because I have not really paid attention to data analysis. I just do my business analysis and just move with it. That's why I'm really asking that question.
Okay. That's okay. I
hope
hope
I may be able to come in there. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. If
Okay,
you want
Banks.
me to.
Sure.
Yeah. So in a scenario like that, you need to be tactical when you talk to the business. While it's possible for you to upskill, maybe do a course, depending on what the culture where you work is. I mean, if they are asking you to learn new skills, the onus is on the business to actually sponsor you to do like a data analysis course. Right now, where I'm working, there's a global drive to start a data catalog, unify all our data. We've got territories across Australia, Italy, UK and one other place, and Thailand or something. So they want a unified system where you can see global data. And it's not going to be done by the BA. Never. There's no way you can do that. All the BA is going to do is, okay, these are the expectations when we set this up. And that's where requirements come into place. And that is strictly fundamentally your work as a BA. It's outcomes. What do we expect to be able to do? Why? Who's going to be impacted? Can we test it? If we've tested it, can we look at the requirements traceability? Is it fine? Sign it off, move on. That's it. But if you're setting up a new skill set, you need to be trained. Or, okay, if you want to protect your job, go outside, maybe go on Udemy or go somewhere or plural site and get some training. But don't do it in such a way that it takes you off your role as a BA, because that's what you're hired for. And like I said, you might need to be tactical with the business to let them know that this will require some training or some more resources to get that done. They don't know. Sometimes they don't know. They just think, oh, the BA is a Swiss knife, he knows everything, so just dump it on whoever and they'll get it done. But it's up to you to say, no, this is going to be a stretch for me. That's not what you hired me for, except I don't know what your job description is. If it's hidden in your job description, because I was on the ladder back down yesterday and somebody said he promised that he was a good tester and they hired him for a BA. So you put yourself in a very, very bad place. So I don't know what's been agreed between you and the business, whether, oh, they said when they hire you, you're going to work as a data analyst. So there are two different sides to the coin now. So I'm making an assumption that they didn't do that. So if it's a new requirement, you need to tell them that it's either they sponsor you or if it's going to be a big piece of work, they will need to hire a data analyst. It's that simple. But there's a risk of, if they force that on you, it might impact your other priorities that you have as a BA, and that's understanding people and working on outcomes, which might be impacted by that decision to start moving you around to be able to do everything. And if you fall into that too, another opportunity comes in. They are doing machine learning now. It's okay, go and do machine learning too, since you are everything. You become an SME by force. While it's good, it's also not the best because it might put you under too much pressure and cause you to crack up. So it's just a way to protect yourself and make sure everything is done right. And of course, if you are doing BA and data analyst work, I mean, there should be some more money coming your way because you are doing more than they hired you to do. So yeah, so it's up to you to be tactical and make sure you speak to the right person to let them know that this is a bigger piece of work out of scope for me as a BA, but I'm willing to learn. If you guys sponsor me or bring in somebody new to work with me. Yeah. I think I've talked too much now.
Thank you. Thank you, Banks. So that was great. Okay, Abdulgani, you're raising your hand. So please, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Mute yourself and ask your question, please. Abdulgani, if you can hear me.
Are you struggling to unmute yourself? And who is that? Who's got their hands raised? Let me just try and help them again. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, so based on like Banks was just saying now, so I'm actually a BA, right? So of recent, I've seen that okay, a lot of job requirements there, a lot of BA requirements there says that okay, you must have at least SQL as a base. So I've been in an interview like twice, and I was being asked that okay, do you do data analysis at all? I said no, I don't do data analysis at all. I'm strictly a BA. Where I'd worked before, we had a section whereby okay, people focus on data while I do my business requirements thing. But so I'm not bothered. Like, is it a new is like an upgrade for every BA now to have like data analysis skill? Like they're making a compulsion. But if you right now go on LinkedIn, just pick sample vacancies there, you will see that okay, like you will see data requirements there as well as function of a BA, which is part of why I actually said, okay, let me involve myself in this cohort and see if I can combine both the skill of the BA and data analysis person.
Okay. Let me just say one or few things, then Banks will cap it up. Like I said earlier, it will be an added advantage as a BA if you have a little bit of data analysis skills. But on a scale of 1 to 10, if you have like two, maybe between 2 and 2 to 5, it's okay. You're not really required to know so much about data analysis as a BA. I worked on a project. I just finished the project not too long ago. It's a lot of BAs, working on that project. That some of our job description allows us to go into the data and just do some testing, with SQL. Just some basic selects, to understand the data and be able to draw your transformation mapping documents. Well, this is a technical BA role, so probably maybe those jobs you are seeing are technical BA role that will allow you to know a little bit of data analysis. So it's good if you know some data analysis skills in addition to your BA work. Is an added advantage. That's what I would say. Banks.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with by the way, guys, Victor is both a BA and a data analyst. Don't mind him. He's not saying that, but he can do both. So it's actually it actually puts him. If I was in an interview with Victor and they wanted somebody who's an SME, Victor will floor me anytime, because he knows his onions around data and he knows his onions around BA, which is good. I've been very lazy with that. I've always been saying, oh, I will do data analysis, my data analysis and all that. Even though I've been doing some pro side, learning R, and it's all looking like jargon to me. I'm like, no, I don't think I don't think my old brain's switching up to how R works and all that. So I'm just gonna stay with Power BI and all that, which is good. Power BI is simply that drag and drop, clean up Excel files, structure it, and do your transformations and all that. So it's good to have an exposure, a knowledge of it. You never say in an interview that no, I'm strictly a BA. It's in fact it's a turn off for most hiring managers when you say, oh, I just stick to strictly BA, because everything, the world is changing.
Exactly.
I'm a BA. I've got product, and right now I'm building applications. I don't write any code, but I can build an app for you. I build websites. I do WordPress. I do a bit of no-code solutions and all that. So the world is transforming, that you can actually deploy solutions in the cloud quickly, without as a business person, not even as a developer. So let's open ourselves up and absorb more as much as possible. So you can be a BA with the knowledge of data analysis. You can be a BA with the knowledge of JavaScript. You can be a BA with the knowledge of everything. All those things are just your time and your drive. What do you want to become? Are you looking to become an SME in the future? Maybe a solution architect or something. You need to know all these things, building blocks. If you're starting something, what are the questions we need to ask? Those are things I always tell my mentees. Don't say, oh, you're a BA and that's what you are. I'm a BA for life. You can be a BA with a touch of so many things. You can be a BA with product knowledge, BA with data knowledge, and it's all as far as your eyes can see. Let me put it that way. So you can be as creative as you want to be by just learning, or by building your network, or attending boot camps or workshops, or even going on Udemy. Udemy, as cheap as it is today now, you can learn a whole lot of things on there, and even YouTube. So those things there are things that you have a knowledge of, and then you can take it deeper further when there's a drive, a demand on that knowledge. Okay, they want you to go look at this. So you can say, oh, Victor, I've got this project. Even though if Victor is saying bring money, it's still fine. If Victor is charging you maybe per hour or two, if think it's going to take 2 hours of his time, and he charges you, and you still have that knowledge, and it's going to serve you for life, because it's not going to go away. So let's be creative. Let's not say in interviews that I'm only a BA. I've never said that. I don't. In fact, I don't even discuss BA things in interviews, because it's taken for granted that BA. Today now I talk about AI and all that. Just let them see that I don't just sit down with requirements. I want to go beyond requirements to look at what solutions can improve user outcomes, and help the business become creative. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that. Thank you.
You nailed it, Banks. You nailed it. Yeah. So go for data skills in addition to your BA knowledge. Yes, Kenny, you are right. So in most of the times they require you to have SQL skills. Yes, it's good. So please, it's an opportunity for you to learn those things, just like Banks has correctly stated. Thank you. Another question, please. Another question. Okay, Ola is asking in UK, which is advisable, BSc, BA, Foundation, or CBAP? Well, you're speaking more of certifications here. That is a little bit tricky. But I will say this: focus on skills instead of maybe BSc or HND or masters. So focus on skills. That is what is selling in the UK or in wherever country you find yourself. That is skill is what is selling, is what the recruiters are looking for. The ability to solve problems is what people are looking for. I've attended several interviews here in the UK, and in all the interviews I've attended, not one question on my certification or the school I attended, not one. All the questions are on problem solving. They'll give you a scenario. How do you deal with it? How do you, handle a problematic stakeholder? Do you understand? In business analysis. Do you understand? How do you meet tight deadlines? Do you understand? They'll be asking you practical, scenario-based questions, how to solve problems. Nobody cares, really cares about. I've been working, for my organization, and nobody has asked me to present my certificates or the school I graduated from. Nobody. And when it means having nobody asks it, they will give you scenarios, they'll give you data, analyze it, and make presentations. So please, Ola, focus on skills. If you have these certifications, maybe BSc or MSc is an added advantage, but please focus on skills, the acquisition of skills on how to solve problems. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Banky. It's specifically to transferable skills. Skills you can move from one job to another. Do you understand? Focus on those transferable skills.
Ola's put another question in the chat window. And I don't know if any of you want to take that or
Okay. Okay. The question is, I have 2 years BA skills, but unable to get a single interview since entering UK. I have paid a CV writer to revamp CV, yet no invites. I have been in this case. I've been in this situation before. I have been in this. And I'm glad Ibukun is here. Do you understand? My CV was so rich in contents, but poor in formats. Do you understand? And as a result of that, I was getting a lot of rejections until I was able to build a CV that is ATS compliant. An ATS compliant CV is a CV that goes through the application tracking system with some defined keywords in your CV specific to the role you are applying for. Once the application tracking system is able to pick those keywords, you will be invited or you'll be called for an interview. So I think you should still need to focus on your CV. It's very, very important. You can send a copy to either I or Banks. Let's look at it, let's review it and see what is actually missing. So if you're a BA with 2 years of experience, you should get a call, but you need to put your CV in the proper formats. Okay?
Dare I also add to that, please? So I'm not a BA. Most of you know that I'm not a BA. And yes, I mean, so definitely reach out to Mr. Banks and to Mr. Victor here. However, I come from a totally different background to the two gentlemen. And one thing that I found is that if your profile statement, regardless of whether you're a BA or you work in cyber or you work in risk, if your profile statement is not selling you, is not actually specifically selling you, you may struggle to get an invitation, because even if you litter your CV with keywords, the fact remains that everybody else is doing the same. You've got, especially in the BA industry or the Scrum industry, you've got everybody else littering their CVs with those same keywords. So how do you make your CV sell you as an individual? And the only place that you can address that is in your personal profile statement, which each recruiter will read and determine in that opening statement whether it's worth giving you a call or not. So once Mr. Banks and Mr. Victor have seen your CV, again at the ladder back down, I will be more than happy to review your personal statement or even to send you a copy of my CV. I did do, well, the ladder back down rather, did a a CV writing and LinkedIn profile writing session in July or so, and it's available on our YouTube channel. But it's very important that besides the keywords, and definitely besides any certification, because Mr. Victor and Mr. Banks literally nailed it there when they explained that it's not about the certification, especially in your industry. It's not about that. It's about the skill and the knowledge that you bring to the table. But you have to be able to demonstrate that skill and knowledge in your opening statement that any recruiter will see on your CV and on your LinkedIn profile. So work together with the two gentlemen, please. And I'm happy to help in the background once they've finished with you. Thank you. I think Mr. Abdul Ghani has his hands up. So would you like to unmute yourself, please?
I think that's an old hand. It's an old hand.
Oh, it's a legacy hand. I've invited him to. I've invited him to put his hand down, but he hasn't done it. I'll drop his hand. Thank
you. Okay. Uh, we just have 3 minutes to close this session. Just to allow us get some other activities. Just 3 minutes to close this session. Tomorrow is another time plate. You can reach out to us. You can also stay tuned with us tomorrow. We're going to be sharing our contacts details with you at the end of tomorrow's session also. So please make sure you stay tuned to the end of this workshop to get the most of the value. Okay. I think that's all we'll be able to take tonight. Tomorrow will be another time, 7 p.m. BST time. For those of you joining out of UK, so just note the time difference and please adjust accordingly. It's 7 p.m. BST to 8:15. So on behalf of the Ladder Back Down and my wonderful colleague and friend Banks, I want to say big thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. Thank you for the questions, for the co-learning session. Thank you, Ibukun, for giving us this platform once again. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time.